Hello guys, this is gonna be another short video, hopefully again another short video. It's gonna be short this time because I don't have much to say. I have been doing some secret work with Bizarro. I have finished some stuff that don't have much to do with the game but have to do with memory management, and I have an idea of how to implement some other features I started to implement. I will re-implement them. And I wasn't very focused on this project, even though I have some updates, because I was also working on something else. And by the way, I will post that now because I will be traveling. I will be going to the assembly demo party. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow evening I travel, but I will be I will be in Finland, in Helsinki, Friday. On Friday, during the midday. I had another flight for later that would arrive at night, but then I realized we have been working on with some other people on a DOS demo. It's not a 3D, it's a Pentium 1 DOS demo, and very excited to release on the old school demo combo. And that combo is playing at Friday night. I thought it would be later on Saturday, but I realized I want to be early there and not miss. So I'm flying to on Thursday to. No, actually I'm flying on Friday morning, but I might be traveling a bit before. So I thought it's good to make a little video about my progress. Now, previously I have been posting some progress with me adding. I don't think I made a video about this. Adding meshes as entities for enemies and items to collect probably, but right now I'm just having some dummy system where I attach a mesh pointer to some entity structs, but there is no gameplay yet. And I think here I was showing how I can have all of them stacked together, different polygon meshes, and I fixed the lighting, by the way. There was something flickering with the lighting, and they all sort well together, and I think that's a video from the real hardware. Yeah, that's a capture from the real hardware. So we are good, because if I wanted, I could have all this polygon object. Normally I will design simpler stuff and place them at different places. There is some visibility. If they are in another room that is not visible, it's gonna not transform and not render the object based on bounding boxes. So it's already really good. And I did that 39 days ago. But I did some other work in the meantime. So by the way, I will travel to assembly, then I will go for 2 weeks back to Greece. So I will come back at 19 maybe, 19 of August. So all this period I can post news about the demo we are going to release. It's gonna be on Poet. And I might not be able to work much on this, but I did some more work besides the entities, which I still need to make a system. I had some issues with memory allocation, with adding and removing the entities, but all of this is gonna change, because let's see how it looks on the PC port, of course. Now it's much faster on the PC port. There is some polygon sorting algorithm, which means even my particles are gonna be occluded, because they are sorted, they are billboard sorted against the other polygons on the scene. I have some very sophisticated and still fast enough. Here are these objects with very bad texturing. I will design specific objects. These are just some test objects. I think they were PLG, .plg. There is some old format. I got this vase from that same format. Now if I right now go here and go to the next map, I'm gonna get a crash because I don't remove the object. There are things I have to do with that. But now I'm gonna do what I initially did, which goes to comment out. I did some other work that is not visible on the game, but it has to do with memory allocation. I was fighting with the memory allocation. I also did a new system, but even with the old system, I managed to. I wasn't freeing certain memory, and I had to find it. Now this new system, I implement a very rudimentary arena. So maybe I allocated the half a megabyte for the arena, but in most levels I need even less. And I heard about this and I implemented a very, very rudimentary thing. Maybe there are more things you should do in the arena. And the thing is, I have a big array of a certain size, and I'm just, when I allocate, I give a pointer to that place and move the pointer forward. And at the end of the level, I set the index to 0 again. Like, I don't need to free objects anymore. And I saw how it grows. I have some debugging print of where it came from. So I think that made the remaining memory more stable when I go from level to level. So now it started from the beginning. It was taking 262,000 bytes and it reset, arena reset, and I started initializing things again from 0. Now this level is a bit bigger, so it reaches 3040, and so on and so forth. And now I disable the entities because the entities I had some older system where I would initialize this load mesh will initialize things, and then I would forget to free them. They were still in a list, so this is something that I have to rework. And I am also thinking something else. I was watching some videos by I'm watching this better software conference videos. There is a guy, Ryan Flowery, I don't remember his name. He's talking about both the arenas and the entities. Now I'm in C. I'm not in C++ to do some complex entity system. But for some reason, when I started this long before, I decided to make a different entity for enemies. Now enemy and things. Where am I defining that? Oh, in entities.h. And I think I'm gonna unify that. I think I'm gonna go with a unified form. I'm not gonna make different types. I could have a type ID so that I know if something is an enemy or anything. But I think I'm going to go more simplified. I'm not gonna have two different things. Because there are places I have add enemy, remove all enemies, and then I have add thing. And I don't have remove all things yet. And connect entities to world. Update entities, but I'm updating the enemy. It's gonna be rewritten. The whole thing is gonna be rewritten. And previously, before the arena, I had some function remove all entities. I have commented out where I was freeing memory and allocating and freeing and going through there. And I might have added a mess like the vase, for example, or this hammer. And I didn't want to initialize more mesh vertices for every other entity. So there was some kind of complexity, but the CCB, the cell structure array that belonged to a mesh had to be duplicated for some reason. So a lot of things are gonna be simplified. This is old code. I haven't changed that. I just stopped at some point. I commented adding the enemies here. I never needed it because I had to do some issues with memory that had nothing to do with this part. They would happen even before. Now I have some memory functions before the arena. Now I have the arena. Before the arena, I had, if not defined, project trigger. If mem arena enable, else. I used to have my own alloc mem res. You know, it's a bit, before I did this arena, I used to have an older version. I don't remember where I have it. Where alloc mem res, where is this defined? Now on 3DO side, if it's not project 3DO, I have the debug so that I have the print. Because on the debug on PC here I'm printing stuff. But I used to have, I don't know if I have it. A version. Oh, I know why I did that. You know, there are some issues now that I have replaced the alloc mem. On the 3DO you only have the, oh, I don't have it here. You have a regular alloc mem. Alloc mem is the 3DO function. So I will still use the old one, but now I'm using the mem type track size, and the -1 is, you used to have to pass the size, and that created problems. I used to have code where I would allocate certain size and I will handle the size myself. I said I want to reduce that size. I'm looking. On 3DO it used to be free mem. Then I did it in some other repository, some later commit. I did the debug versions. And now I did the rest debug when it's about resources. That was the idea. And I need to search. It might be possible. You know, the arena thing is the new thing. I was doing other thing. It might be possible that I have a alloc mem. At places, I still use the alloc mem debug, which translates to alloc mem for 3DO, and the alloc mem debug with printing out for PC, so that I know what's going on. And from alloc mem debug, we went to alloc mem res and alloc mem res debug. Now I always do alloc mem res debug. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Because I want to have a print debug. Now even here, free memories debug, alloc memories debug. And those are supposed to be resources. Those are things that I will allocate and release before and after its level pass. But I had a problem that when the game starts, maybe I have here, look. When the game starts initially, maybe the menu. I have some things that I will allocate once and I will always keep in memory. If this was an alloc mem res for resources, then when I went to the next level, some things I allocate all the time would disappear and I would get into problems. So I have separated it a bit. I have some early stuff, for example, even on the core. This is when the 3DO starts. Sorry, it's on the system graphics. This is when I'm in it in the graphics. I don't want to put them on an arena. These are the bitmap items and bitmap buffer. These are the screen memory that I allocate once. I wonder though, I use mem type track size now. And maybe I was using mem type video RAM to allocate in the video RAM. Yet that works. And this is my special function with which on the 3DO this is gonna be replaced with alloc mem without the last part. So that doesn't, the 3DO doesn't unnecessarily try to print stuff or do. So I have this whole system. So the very initial things when you start the game, so far everything is simple alloc mem and free mem. And debug, in here debug, but I don't see it printing something. It used to print. But when you start the game, it's only then that I will use the alloc mem res, and it's only then when you have the arena and when you go out. Now, there is no freeing of memory anymore. It's gonna put the index to 0. But one last thing and I'm gonna finish. I have this reset arena. Reset arena to put the arena index to 0. I'm growing on size in words. I say size in words here. Is it in bytes? Why do I shift right left? Anyway, I'm doing it in a way so that it's aligned. Because I want the byte pointer again to check the size. Because that size is in bytes. But the index... No, the index is still in bytes, but... Everything is allocated aligned in 32 bits. Even if you allocate a byte or something that is 7 bytes, it's gonna give you 8 bytes. Okay, final. This is an extra function, use memarena, that I did because of some issues with the... And I can turn on and off the arena. If I decide that there is something I want to allocate and keep in memory, I will disable this one. And you see, in the beginning it starts as false. So that if I ever call alloc memres, okay, if it's enabled, allocate with the arena system. If it's disabled, do a simple alloc mem. I don't even do alloc mem debug anymore. So I'm not printing the bytes anymore. But I used, okay, I disabled, I removed it. I used to print the allocation before I made this arena, I already managed to solve the memory issues, the memory getting smaller and smaller every time I finished a level. every time I looped from level to level. So I fixed some issues before, but now with the arena I will just not have to do it. Now the free memres, if not mem arena enabled, just free, else do nothing. There are some dummies in the code where I still call free, but if I'm on arena enable, there is no reason because the reset arena is gonna put the index to 0. And so okay, I will have to revert to a previous repository to show you. The memory number will go up and down, but it would be stable. I fixed things here. I used to, with all that printing, I managed before to figure out. There were some places I was freeing texture pal and texture bitmap, and I wasn't freeing the texture themselves, the texture of them, but I'm not doing it here, I'm doing it outside. Ah yeah, unload texture this. This line didn't exist, for example. I wasn't unloading the texture pointers at the end. This was one memory. Not memory leak, I don't know how to call it. So the code has fixed these issues, but now you don't even need to call it, but I leave it like this for now. Technically, if I disable the arena, okay, use mem arena, maybe find all references. So the project start with mem arena enable equals false. I do some early allocation, fonts, the menu background, the weapon I allocate the weapon the mess early. Some of the icons, some of the things that I will keep forever, and I don't need to enable. Now those are not stored here, but they are allocated at other places. So the first time to load the level, you need memres for level restart. So I start with this. It's a bit okay. The first time enable the use of the arena. Previously we allocated the various things that are persistent with normal allocation. We will never free them. If I want to free them, I will change the logic. And I reset the arena to 0 so that we start later to calling the alloc memres. And I see I do it here too. Yeah, I see for the gradient background. Okay, this is when I finish a level, I have this gradient background. It happens, I could do it in an arena, I don't know, but it happens that if I have this end screen gradient equals null, this is some other object, and if it's not created, it's like lazy allocation. So the first time ever you finish a level and you see some gradient background, it will create the gradients, and I will set the memory arena to false because this is gonna be persistent, and this gradient is gonna regular alloc mem debug, not alloc mem res debug. Create some color, and it needs the gradient cell, which is a CCB now, a cell CCB, and it calls the regular create cell. Now here we call alloc mem debug anyways, we don't call the memres, but why? Because create cell still calls alloc mem debug. Okay, I had a reason to have this flip flop. Because somewhere I might be calling alloc memres for some reason. And the thing is, I might be initting. This is on the mesh init. Or the procgen mesh maybe. Or even the mesh. Sorry, I have to find it so that I show you. I ended up now. Every time I start a new level, I recreate the grid geometry, of the level, and I will do the alloc mem res this time, so that if the arena is enabled, it's gonna push this in arena. But those are like, if I reset the arena, you don't have to worry. But the thing is, when I start the game very early on, I'm initting more meshes. This I cannot even point it. This weapon, here you see, this is a mesh that is initted one. Also, I think the stars are initted once and they are reused. So there are things I don't want them to get into the arena because they would be destroyed and I will get into trouble. But my init mesh, because of all the other later geometry, it has to use the res debug. I couldn't just go and say, okay, I'll copy paste this and make an init mesh res and go and make all of them dbg and so on. Now that could be, it would be bad duplication, it would be tedious, and I would have to do this for initializing textures. So there are things that I want to generate once and be persistent, and that's where I came with the solution to have a use mem arena, enable and disable the arena, so that even if I call alloc memres free memres and also alloc memres debug will call alloc memres, I would have this to say, okay, do the alloc arena res or do the regular alloc mem. Don't do anything or free memory if it's not an arena. And that worked perfectly. Anyway, I have been talking more. I think it's getting there. It's better. I could control. I could control. I can control memory now. I can just use the arena after I initialize the necessary. So the memory is that it's 770 now. In the first iteration, it went from 770 to 6 something, then it went back, and after looping 4 levels, I would have to loop for 4 levels. It didn't return to 770, or it did return, but after many iterations, it was going to 742, 732 or something. It was getting 32k. Maybe that's the block size. Now, with Arena, it's stable. It's always 7070. I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna clip out to end the level. Always 7070. Oh, something happened with the clip anyway. So now it's very stable because there are no actual allocations anymore. Everything that I have to generate and remove, and I have to do the same with the entities, with the mesh entities and the entities this time. It's much easier. I increase a pointer in the arena and just give you the position. I only have to see if I reach a point where I have to raise the size of the arena, or maybe have some other strategy that if I really don't have any more space in the arena. I can do a regular allocation. I don't know. I don't have a logic. I could have certain resources that I can release. I can say, okay, that resource, if you really want, go search through all the objects and find the empty gaps to put things. No, it's always a moving pointer. I don't keep information right now. It's the simplest thing ever. But I'm telling you, even before that, with the excessive debugging, I managed to make this work well. The number will go up and down, but after 4 levels, it will be be the same number as it started, at least, compared to the very early time. So I had 3 versions. The simple allocation, the debug allocation that helped me to find the places I wasn't freeing. I even had a way, I don't know if I have it anymore, maybe I removed. I had a way to compare. Maybe I removed that. Memres. Okay, that's the new file. I used to have. I used to have them here. This is the SDK emulation, let's say. Even here I have dbg debug. Yeah, I'm still printing the stuff. Now these are extra things. I used to have them, but I'm not printing. Oh, I'm printing. I changed it. I don't print on the command line. I print here. I had some extra logic where I will collect those addresses and plus is okay, I allocated that. And minus is I deallocated. So if you set this one is here, for example, this one is here. And it will tell you that, and those don't exist here. If you click this one, it does exist here. It will go everything that you allocated, everything you freed. It will compare and it will give you, okay, these are the ones that are still not freed. Now these are, create basic display, bitmap items. These are the things that I wanted to be persistent, so there was no problem. And normally, this one, it has nothing now. I'm gonna show you very fast, because it's kinda interesting. So I still have this thing, but in the case of mem, they print on a file anymore. They don't print on the screen, so that I more easily inspect. So before any arena, I did this whole system just to find the things. I have some kind debugs. I was keeping stuff and comparing. Every time, somewhere on the place where I'm switching level, I have this advanced mem debug cycle only for PC. That was here. It will do some comparison. Somewhere else, print mem debug cycle. I don't remember. Somewhere I would make a comparison remove from memory. Or maybe here I'm doing it. It wasn't very optimized. I was going through all these entries and searching for addresses to see, okay, I free these addresses, remove it from the list so that I'm a bit excited. Okay, the video is turning longer, and I'm excited about this stupid system I did that I don't need because I have the arenas now. But those systems help me. I want to show you the thing. I'm lost. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hack this. I'm gonna hack this to be always false, so that I can never make it true. So that the arena doesn't. And now, maybe you will see nothing printed here. Probably. It says arena reset, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna go through 4 levels. Arena reset is invalid because it happens, but I never use the arena and you don't see it there. I'm using the allocation always, and I'm doing a print debug. I should put a button or something when I press it to go to the next level instead of the way I'm doing it. I think this is it. So now I have the information here. This is in the beginning. So this is before I create this point to DRA to procedural generate the weapon with some rotating curves. And then I free it. So that's the point before the first level started. And now mem debug 1 is when the first level ends before the second level started. And there are some allocations, but those are also the gradient for the end screen. This happens only one. The colors for the end screen, the cell, the gradient cell. This was the persistent. And in cycle 1, we have allocated this extra stuff. And we didn't free it because we wanted it to be persistent. But from now on, the cycle is empty. Empty, empty. And this is 0 because I exited and it didn't finish a level 2. So it used to be that on those cycles I had memory addresses. I didn't have allocations necessary. No, I had allocation dialog. Why there should be some allocations here. I'm not printing them anymore. I don't know. Because this is now the final list. This is the final list after. This doesn't show you. Well, actually, it does show you because it has the plus and the minus. I don't know why the allocation is not printed, but I reached the point where after each cycle it says everything, it's 0, empty. Everything that was allocated was deallocated from the current level to the previous. I don't know why that was the old system anyway. Anyway, and I need to. Okay, maybe I have to disable this code anymore because it's printing garbage. And that's it, guys. I have to. The thing is, I'm on the arena thing now. I could always increase it. It doesn't. Currently, I don't reach. I might reach 200k, 300k, but maybe I will need to increase it a bit or do something else. I'll see. Because that's convenient, but scares me. It scares me because we're still using a lot of memory. Now I noticed another thing that. What is it? Why did I lose it here? It's not even here. Defined music on. Oh, music is off. Oh. Now you're not gonna hear music. It's even worse actually. Music is taking some memory now. Which is the CD audio? I need to see that code. We are still okay. And if I add sound effects, if I add different things, so we are tight. Yeah, I stopped the music. It's very loud. Oh, look, it's low. And that's a bug of Phoenix. I have set it. If I close the emulator, yeah, it dropped to 7475 from 707 now. Now let's see with music, because the music it could be different. 507. Oh, maybe I'm doing the allocation thing. Did I rebuild? 507. Okay, it's stable now. Maybe it was the first time where this screen, the extra allocation. But why did it go? Maybe okay. Maybe it's the scavenge mem I do later. I used to have the other problem that I used to do a scavenge mem. It clears up. I used to do it here, maybe here, and that created a problem. It would even make the game on the actual 3DO and the emulator crash, and it had something to do when I stopped the music. It would work, but now I'm not doing it here. Uh, Dinit level. I'm doing it on dinit level. So effectively, load level, dinit. When go to next level, have a dinit level. Will clean up, not anymore because I'm using the arena, and it's gonna call scavenge mem. If the allocation has left some gaps or something, it's gonna clean up. And then I'm gonna call end music and start load level. It will start the new music. I think I was doing the scavenge mem here or here, and it would create problem if music goes on. And now we are going to 5 something, 500k. Anyway, guys, that's it. I think I need to stop. You've seen. Oh, Visual Studio installer. Damn it. Oh, damn it. I said update on exit. It was an update. And that's it, guys. I'll go to assembly party with our DOS demo. A big one. I did some great stuff, and I'll return after the middle of August, and I might just continue with this project. I have to do the proper entity enemies thing system, but I'm gonna do it in a unified struct. Now that could harm. I might use few things. That could harm memory instead of doing separate entities. We'll see. And maybe I should focus. I should start designing certain meshes for certain enemies and make them move and do something, or even simple. Make some simple mesh items, even some billboard items for collectibles like potions of healing and so on. Something. I don't know. But we are getting close because I solved a lot of the problems with memory in various ways, and I can, if there is a problem in the future, I can still debug it and figure it out. It's a bit of a mess sometimes, but I think I'm handling it. Anyways, guys, bye. Time to finish that and stop.